Hi, today we are going to discuss in detail about a writing task submitted by a student from India. Session 14 writing task is to write a letter requesting a psychological assessment for a Year 5 student, Miss Alison Cooper, who started to show some aloof in nature and concentration difficulty in her academics following her father's demise in a motorbike accident. This letter is written by a school nurse at a Toohey Point Primary State School to a psychologist requesting thorough assessment to rule out the grief underlying her aloof in nature. Since the psychological aspect of any patient is closely linked with their social or personal backgrounds, we must ensure to pick up only the relevant information and avoid irrelevant information because you may have a lot of information in the case note and unfortunately you cannot include them all in a letter which is specifically confined to 180 to 200 words. Let us look into the case note first. We have a date given here, today's date, which is 7th March 2012, and this should be used as a date of the letter. Details of the patient are Alison Cooper. She is a minor, so you can write her name as either Miss Alison or Baby Cooper, and it says that she is a Year 5 student and date of birth is 14 June 2002, which you must mention in the reference. Then comes her height and weight, which we don't have to mention, but we can see that she is overweight by her age. So, she is overweight is the information we have to pick out from this piece of information and not the exact figure. Outbreaks of eczema on hands, and she is a mild asthmatic patient, which are her medical history, and you have to mention it in the letter. She has no other significant illness, which is a vital point because she had multiple absenteeism every year, which is visible from her school medical record and school health center record. All this says that she has much absenteeism for very silly reasons like headache, stomachache, leg pain, nausea, etc. From those two sessions, we can pick out the information, that is, she has many leaves or absence from her school with very silly reason. When we come to the social history, it says that father died in a motor accident 18 months ago, which you must not avoid because that is a severe reason behind her change in behavior. We also have to mention that she lives with her mother, a bank manager who is working full time. But it says that middle child, brother Simon aged 7 and sister Lisa aged 12. The psychologist doesn't have to know the age of the sibling and the age and the name, but instead the reader must know whether the child is a single child or whether the child has any siblings so that he can come to a conclusion of whether this child is socially isolated or not. This is a point we have to include instead of the name or age of the siblings. Paternal grandmother lives near school. She is the one who takes her during her sick days and holidays, which also has to be mentioned in the letter. Then it says Miss Alison was a very good student at her academics until her father's demise in a motorbike accident, but the things changed drastically after his death. Since then, she avoided all sporting activities and her academic performance dropped significantly. She was very reluctant to mingle with her classmates, and obviously because of her eczema and weight, she often became a victim of bullying by her classmate. All these pieces of information have to be mentioned in the letter. In her medical history, it says that she has eczema but is poorly responding to the ointment suggested by a chemist, which is a relevant information and has to be mentioned. Her mother was contacted by her class teacher regarding her issues, and her mother informed this class teacher that Alison is becoming withdrawn at home because she was very close to her father and cries whenever she misses him, but she seeks comfort in fast food, which made her obese. So these points are very relevant and should not be avoided but should be organized in a proper way while framing the letter. Taking all these points, we have to prepare a letter in an organized manner. Now let us see how we can write a letter with the help of a sample letter written by a candidate from India. Here, in this letter, we can see that the address, salutation and reference are written correctly. But when it comes to the date format, the format is correct. However, the date written here is not as the same date given in the case note, which is 7/3/2012. Hence, it is wrong because 2012 March 7 is the date specifically given for this letter. Moving on to the introduction paragraph. I am writing this letter to refer Miss Alison Cooper into your care to rule out if she has any underlying grief-related problems and for psychological assessment. The improper organization of the sentence and logical problems can be noticed in the first glance. The word "this letter" can be avoided because the reader and the writer know this is the letter, so it's unnecessary to inform those words on the introduction. We can rewrite the sentence into a much impressive one by reorganizing it into I am writing to refer Miss Alison Cooper for a psychological assessment to rule out if she has any underlying grief-related problems. Moving on to the second paragraph, Miss Cooper lives with her mother, who works as a full-time bank manager and has two siblings of aged 7 and 12. It is not necessary for a psychologist to know the age of her siblings. Here the sentence starts with the social background, but here the reason behind the purpose of this letter starts with her academic problems. Therefore, we must start from there. Here we have two time frames, that is before and after her father's death. Before her father's death, she was a very good student, which is mentioned clearly in the social history section of the case note. So the paragraph has to start like Miss Alison was a very good student until her father's death in a motorbike accident 18 months ago. Then you have to mention her symptoms or her experiences in the class. That is, since her father's demise, she had multiple absenteeism and has some concentration problems. Here you don't have to number each and every reason behind her absence, but still we can say that she had multiple absenteeism due to trivial reasons and her academic performance has significantly declined. Along with that, you can also add she seldom participates in academic performance or sporting activities unless encouraged, which would be the third sentence. But here it says she became introvert and her academic performance declined significantly. She has few friends and often bullied by her classmates about her eczema and weight. Even though the writer has tried to include some information, but it's not properly organized and complete. The word decline is present tense, instead it should have been past tense, that is declined. Then the writer jumped into another information in which a few friends is the proper a few friends instead of few friends, and the word weight doesn't give clarity, that is whether she is underweight or overweight. Here the girl finds comfort in junk food that made her overweight, and this is the reason behind the bullying by her classmates. So again, the writer failed to impress the examiner with the proper information. Therefore, the second paragraph can be rewritten in a much impressive way, such as Miss Alison was a very good student until her father's demise 18 months ago in a motorbike accident. Since then, her academic performance has significantly declined and had multiple absenteeism due to trivial reasons. She seldom participates in academic performance or sporting activities unless encouraged. Her mother has been contacted regarding her issues, and her mother reported that Miss Alison is withdrawn at home. She was very close to her father and she cries whenever she misses him. She finds comfort in junk food, which made her overweight. Her eczema and bullying things can be written as a third paragraph. That is, she has eczema on her hands and mild asthma for which she used Ventolin inhaler. That is her medical history. Eczema is a very pathetic disease and some people can be depressed because of that. You have to add this because this has close relation to her aloofing nature. You can state this as a third paragraph before moving on to the social background. But in the letter, the third paragraph is written as Miss Cooper's mother was contacted regarding her issues, and she stated that her daughter talks about her father and cries missing him as she was close to him and is making her withdrawn at home. In the sentence, and is making is wrong and can be replaced with which makes. You can merge the second and third paragraphs into one, and as the third paragraph you can add more informations like she lives with her mother, a full-time bank manager and siblings. Her paternal grandma who lives nearby the school takes her during her sick days and holidays. By giving out this information, we are trying to prove that she is not socially isolated. That is, she has siblings, her mother is a full-time bank manager, so she is taken care by her grandmother who lives nearby school. Even though this was an important piece of information, the writer has missed it. The wind-up sentence stated in the letter is correct, but the writer made another paragraph as, please contact me if you have any queries. Instead, it is better to put these sentences together. The sign of yours sincerely, which is wrong because the writer used you instead of yours. It should be yours sincerely, comma, charged nurse, which is again wrong. It should be charged instead of charged. So it's yours sincerely, comma, charged nurse. That's about this letter. Thank you.
New method for OET learning. How are you preparing? Online or offline? For speaking and writing, you can get tutor reviews. How will you be able to manage your reading and listening? How can you manage your self-practice easier than ever before? Learn OET in Merlin's way. Most successful OET learning method from world's best online trainer. Chat now, mentormerlinexam.com.